All right. All right, new unit here. First thing we're going to start with, we're going to start talking about ratios and solving proportions. Okay? First thing, let's go ahead and talk about ratio, the word ratio. Ratio, more or less, is just a mathematical word that means fraction. It's one number over another number. It's the comparison of two things, one number over another number, okay? So in simple terms, a ratio could be viewed as just a fraction, one number over another. And so that's one thing I want you to be able to associate. If you see the word ratio, I'm just thinking, hey, that's just a fraction, okay? Now, I know fractions for a lot of people are kind of scary or whatnot, but that's basically what a ratio is. All right? The next word, a proportion. A proportion is basically setting two ratios equal to each other. Taking one ratio and setting it equal to another ratio. So taking one fraction, setting it equal to another fraction. X over Y is equal to A over B. Okay, I could have used whatever letter I wanted to. Okay, but that's basically what a proportion is. Setting one fraction equal to another fraction. Does anybody remember how to solve a proportion? Or how we test to see if a proportion is really proportional? Does anybody remember that? Cross multiplication. Cross multiply. Okay? And that's going to be kind of the premise of the lesson today. Guys, if you want to take a proportion and you want to see if it actually is proportional, what we're going to do is we're going to cross multiply. So like right here, if I take A times Y, that would be AY equals, I heard enough. And we're going to cross multiply back the other way. X times B would be XB. Christian, question.
I was going to ask if that and was incomplete 5 over B or an incomplete 3?
They're all variables. They're letters. Okay? So, you're in a line right now. So, you're about 3 deep. All right? So, cross multiplication, okay? The cross products should be equal to each other if this is going to be proportional, okay? If the proportion is true, the cross products, product meaning multiplication, the cross products must be equal. And just like you're seeing there, the product of A times Y would have to equal the product of X times B. Okay? But that's basically what a ratio and a proportion is. Ratio is basically just a fraction. Proportion is basically taking two fractions, setting them equal to each other. If those two ratios are going to be proportional, their cross products must be equal to each other. Okay? And again, that's going to be...
Students and staff, in a few moments we'll be conducting an evacuation drill. We'll be at evacuation.
Here we go. Let's get to an example here. First example. There we go. 2 over 10 equals 4 over x plus 5. 2 over 10 equals 4 over x plus 5. Jot that down. Now again, hopefully visually, we are recognizing that this is one fraction equal to another fraction. Okay, so we do have a proportion look here. Okay. How do we solve a proportion? We are going to cross multiply. Cross multiply. Okay? Now, listen carefully. It does not matter which multiplication you do first. Okay? Now, I'm going to go this way first. Okay? And here's how I would suggest you write this. Take a look. We're going to go 2 times, I'm going to open a set of parentheses, 2 times x plus 5. 2 times x plus 5. Notice that there are 2 terms on the bottom of that ratio on the right. That 2 is going to have to be multiplied to both. So we're going to need to create a distributive look, and I really think those parentheses should do that for you. So 2 times x plus 5 equals, make sure you put an equal sign there, because again, the cross products are going to be equal to each other. And then we're going to go back the other way. 10 times 4, what's 10 times 4?
40.
Boom, good. Okay, so we're going to cross multiply. The cross products will be set equal to each other. I would highly encourage the use of those parentheses, because again, we want to create a distributive look here. Is everybody okay with where all that came from? Now we're solving. Now, distribution here. That 2 has got to get to both of those terms.
Wait, how did you get 40?
Pardon? 10 times 4, right here. 10 times 4. 10 times 4. You see it? 10 times 4, 40. Guys, what's 2 times x? 2x. 2 times 5 equals 40. We should just be right back to equation solving. Okay? So there's what it looks like post-distribution. 2x plus 10 equals 40. What's next? Subtract 10 from both sides. I agree. Two x equals, what's that going to be? 30?
15. It's 30. It's 15.
What's the solving step?
Is that a 7 or a divide?
That is a 2.
Divide.
Divide by 2. X equals 15. Okay? So for this proportion, or for those two ratios to be equal, to be proportional, 15 would be that number that would complete that for us. Okay? It would make these two ratios proportional. Their cross products would end up to be equal. Okay? But one of the things that you guys need to visually recognize is when you have part of these proportions that have these multiple terms, like x plus 5. Okay? When you see that, we need to have that thought that there is going to be some type of distribution involved. Sure. Okay? All right, questions? We okay with that? Okay. Next. There you go. Next one. Yeah. Bless you. All right. And again, it does not matter which way you cross multiply first. How many distributions are we going to have in this one?
2.
We're going to have 2 distributions. That first ratio, 2x minus 3 over x plus 9, both parts of that ratio, the top and the bottom, have multiple terms. So you are going to have a couple of distributions here. Okay? And again, does not matter which one you do first. This time, I'm going to go ahead I'm going to do this one first. We're going to go 3 times. We're going to go 3 times x plus 9. 3 times x plus 9. And again, I would highly suggest that you put that x plus 9 in parentheses.
So it can look pretty.
Well, it looks pretty. It's organized. Those parentheses should be the cue. Bless you. Should be a cue that you're probably going to need to distribute. Make sure you put an equal sign after that. Bless you. And then we're going to go back the other way. 5 times 2x minus 3. 5 times, bless you, 2x minus 3. Now, take a look. Are we okay with where all that's coming from? Okay? All right, let's distribute. Here on the left, what is 3 times x? 3x. Got it. Bless you. 3 times 9. 3 times 9? 27. Good. Equals. Now we're going to come over on the right side. 5 times 2x? 10x. 5 times negative 3? Say it again. Negative 15. All right. Well, here we go. We've got an equation now. One, is everybody okay with where all that came from? Yes. We good? You okay? Okay. Now, we've got an equation with variables on both sides. Okay? And just like we have discussed before, take a look at the left side. 3x plus 27. Are you allowed to add that together? No. 10x minus 15. No. Both sides are as simple as possible. That's good. Now, we've got to choose a side for our variables. And as we have discussed, it does not matter what side the variables go on. Totally your choice. What side do you want your variables on, right or left? You want them on the left? If you want them on the left, which one's moving? 10, and how's it moving? What kind of a 10x is that? It's positive. So how will we move it? We're going to subtract 10x from both sides. Subtract 10x from both sides. Now, what's 3 minus 10? Thank you. Negative 7x plus 27 equals negative 15. Guys, bring everything down as you go through these. Keep your equal signs lined up. Bring everything down with you. Negative 7x plus 27 equals negative 15. Yes?
Where's the bathroom pass?
Somebody's probably got it. Hurry, Christian, go. Big guy. What's leaving next? What are we moving next?
It's negative 6.
Minus 27.
Thank you. Let's subtract 27.
That'd be negative 42.
27 goes away. You've got negative 7x left. And Tiger, you are correct. Negative 15 minus 27 is going to be a negative 42. Negative 42. Same sign, keep the sign, add the numbers.
You supposed to add that?
Yep. If the signs are the same, keep the sign, add the numbers. That's those good old integer rules that just never go away. What's our last step here?
Divide.
By?
By 7. Negative 7.
By negative 7. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. So 42 divided by 7? 6. 6 it is. Okay? All right, questions? We okay with this?
Yes, sir.
Does everybody have it? All right, we good for the next one? All right, there you go. Now, just trying to give you some variations of where they're going to put these multiple term expressions, okay? You know, this last problem we had, you know, the top and the bottom of the ratio had multiple terms. This one, each ratio has a multiple term expression, okay? So it's just a variation in kind of what you're seeing, all right? Obviously, we're all working on the same. We've got cross multiplication that's going to be involved. But again, fraction equals a fraction. We've got a proportion, which means we are allowed to cross multiply. It does not matter which direction we cross multiply first, completely your choice. This one here, I'm going to go bottom left to top right on this one, just because. Not really no strategy.
Changing it up.
So it's changing it up. So we're going to go 6 times x minus 7 equals. Make sure you put an equal sign after that first product. There's a lot of students, when they solve proportions, they create another fraction, and that's not what we're doing here. Okay? The cross products are equal to each other. We are generating a small equation here. And then let's go back the other direction. 9 times x minus 4. Bless you. Again, the use of the parentheses, I think, will be a good visual cue that you need to be distributing. Okay? All right, let's do some distribution here. What do we get if we distribute that 6? Bless you.
6x minus 42.
Thank you. Good job. 6x minus 42. 6x minus 42. Make sure we're getting to both terms. How about on the right side?
Oh, we got to
9x
distribute the
minus
9.
36.
9x. What'd you say?
Minus 36.
Thank you. Good. 9x minus 36. Guys, again, keep your equal signs lined up. Okay? Some of the issue with some of your work is the organization that you have on your paper or the lack thereof, and it's causing you issues. Keep those equal signs lined up. Bring everything down with you. Is each side as simple as it can get? Can you do 6x minus 42? Are we allowed to subtract those two things? Yes or no? No. 9x minus 36. Can we combine those two things? Yes or no? Yes or no? Which one?
No.
No. Say it with confidence, right? 9x. 9x, that's got an x with it. Minus 36 doesn't. Okay? What side do you want your variables on, right or left? All right. All right. This time, let's go to the right. If we're going to go to the right, which one needs to move? And how's it going to move? Okay. What kind of a 6x is it? Positive, so therefore we will need to, thank you, let's subtract 6x from both sides. 6x minus 6x on the left, gone. You are left with negative 42 equals, what's 9x minus 6x? What? Different signs, we subtract. 9 minus 6 is 3. Take the sign of the larger number. Which number is larger? 9. Is the 9 positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive, therefore the 3 will be positive. 9x minus 6x, 3x, and we still have the minus 36. Bring everything with you. What's next? What's moving next? Add the 36. Add the 36. 3x equals. Now, what's negative 42 plus 36? Positive or negative? Which number's larger? Which number's larger? 42. 42 is negative. Therefore, the 6 will be negative. Subtract, take the sign of the larger number. Subtract, take the sign of the larger number because we have different signs there. And solving step? What's the last step? By? Thank you. What is negative 6 divided by positive 3? Boom. Good. Negative 2. I like it when we get nice integer answers. All right, questions here. We good?
I need to keep it on the slide since it will just be
Here, I'm gonna go to the next one, and it's being recorded. We got one more. This is the last one right here. Last one. 7 over 2x minus 8 equals 3 over x minus 6. Again, looking at different variations where they're going to be moving these multiple term expressions. This time they're on the bottoms of the ratios. So again, we've got two ratios equal to each other. Qualifies it as a proportion, so we're going to cross multiply. No secret here. And again, doesn't matter which way we start first. This time I'm going to go top left to bottom right. I'm going to go here, top left to bottom right. So I'm going to go 7 times x minus 6 equals. Please, please, please make sure you put that equal sign after that first product. Again, product meaning multiplication, right? Product is the answer to a multiplication problem. So 7 times x minus 6. And then we'll come back the other way. 3 times 2x minus 8. And really, the majority, once you get past this step here, the majority of this is just equation solving. So we're really getting a chance to reinforce our equation solving skills. The initial step is the proportion step. 1 divided by 18 will be 1/18. Now, 18 divided by 1 would be 18, but 1 divided by 18 is 1/18. Depends on which way you divide it. All right, here we go. 7 times x.
7
42.
7 times x.
42.
7 times x.
Negative 42.
7 times x.
7x.
7x. Thank you. All right, Gabe, you ready? 7 times negative 6. Now go.
Oh, 42.
Positive or negative?
42.
Negative 42. Boom. There you go. 7x minus 42 equals 3 times 2x. 3 times 2x.
6x.
Thank you. And 3 times negative 8. Thank you. Negative 24. This is a good example of where one set of skills that we've already learned is going to have to go into another set of skills that we're learning. We're learning about proportions. Well, a lot of this is dependent upon you being able to do distribution, integer rules, solving equations, okay? So again, a lot of reinforcement in those areas, which in a way is good. Is each side as simple as it's going to get?
No.
Can you combine 7x minus 42?
No.
6x minus 24?
No.
No. Okay, so each side is as simple as it's going to get. So now we're going to choose a side for our variables. What side do you want your variables on? Left? Who's moving then?
7. Oh, wait.
6.
6.
Okay? How's it going to move?
Negative.
Thank you. Let's subtract 6x from both sides. 6x's cancel on the right. You are left with negative 24 on the right. On the left, what is 7x minus 6x?
X.
Awesome. I like that. Minus 42. That's going to be real nice having a 1x there because basically that means we're not going to have a division step. We've already got a 1x. What's the last thing you probably need to move here to get this solved?
Positive 42.
Add 42. Good. I'm hearing it a couple places there. Add 42. Now be careful right here. 42 minus 24. Guys, you know you can look at this a couple different ways. You know, some of you are going to look at this negative 24 plus 42, or look at it as 42 minus 24, which may seem easier. And what is the answer?
18.
Boom. 18. Answer should be positive because your 42 is larger. We're going to take the sign of the larger number here. Different signs. We are subtracting. Take the sign of the larger number. Positive 18. Like I said, we like it when these answers come out nice and neat. They're nice integer numbers. Okay? All right? But it's going to be important that we recognize a proportion. A proportion is just basically, in simple terms, two fractions equal to each other. How do we solve a proportion? We cross multiply. One product is equal to the other product. Okay? Questions here? Can we do it?
Yes.
We can do it.
We can do it.
We can do it.
Are we doing even or odd?
Odds or evens?
Odds.
Even.
Evens.
Yep, I heard odd first. We're doing the odds.
Yeah, I forgot.
We're going to do the odds. Christian.